What's up, everybody? So I think I've got a plan in place and I wanted to walk you through it. But before we dive into this video, I just wanted to say real quick thank you to everyone who commented and replied on the last video. You guys had a ton of helpful suggestions and I tried as many of them as I could. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, I didn't mention in that other video, today's Sunday. I have about 22 and a half hours of labor in cleaning, wet sanding, and polishing just the two rear wheels and just about half of the rims while I was trying stuff out. So I didn't even do the full wheels and I haven't even touched the front wheels. So you can see right now they look okay from up here, but if we get in close, you can see that they're done. There's no saving these, and it sort of is what it is. I've kind of accepted that at this point. So in the meantime, I wanted to show you what I tried that did work, because I think it can really help you guys out. If you have an older set of oxidized wheels, it might, at least for the time being, while you source new wheels or decide what you want to do with your rims, if you're going to have them refinished, resurfaced, powder coated, whatever it is, this might give you a little bit of time to work with, as it's what I'm going to be using. So to get this finish, let's see if I can make sure this is 100% focused. There we go. To get this finish versus this finish, Never Dull. This was the big product that actually made a difference while I was working. Again, wet sanding didn't yield any results. I went through, the only step I didn't try was 800 grit, because I really didn't want to risk. I don't think it would have damaged these lips, but I just didn't want to risk it. So I wanted to try to save them what I could. I went 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and it just made no difference. All this pitting and all that sort of stuff is in the anodized layer, and it's just, there's no saving it. It's gone. So Never Dull, that would sort of lessen the intensity of all those stains and those markings. I think what was happening is it's just filling in all those micro gaps and making it look like a more uniform surface. And then adding some Vaseline as a top coat, this will focus. Definitely, it does two things. It adds a layer of protection over that layer that can easily get oxidized, especially with just using the Never Dull and leaving it. If you leave it for a day, this is all going to come back and look horrible. So the Vaseline almost acts like a clear coat on top of the polishing compound. So for the time being, it looks okay. It's nowhere near how good these rims looked before this happened, which really sucks. One thing I want to talk about is I don't even necessarily think it was the heat now. I talked to a buddy of mine who also had some anodized wheels, and the same thing happened. And his rims were dead cold. So I don't know why this happened after I used this same product a couple weeks ago and I didn't have a problem with it. Maybe I just left them. I don't know. So because it was on for the same amount of time, I used it the same way I normally do. So I guess the word of advice is just pay attention to what the chemical composition of these cleaners you're using is, and yeah, just be really careful with your rims. I thought I'd done my homework and I thought it was gonna be okay, and this still is the end result. So that's enough of that. So now we'll talk about sort of the plan. I'm gonna go with the powder coating route. It's $5,000 for a set of replacement wheels from Suncoast. It's gonna be $4,000 for a set of refurbed wheels if I don't trade in my original wheels, and it would be the cost would come down significantly if I trade in these wheels. But like I mentioned in the other video, these are like date code and matched to this car. This car was optioned with these rims, and short of them being bent or cracked or too far gone to where it's impossible to run them on the car, I just really think they need to stay with this car. They've gone through 40 years of life with this car, so these are the wheels that need to be on there. Again, that's an emotional thing. It's not necessarily a financial or a rational thing to do, but you know how we are with cars. So that's sort of my decision. These are going to get powder coated. Let me know what you guys think. I think what I'm going to do is kind of stick with this finish. I don't necessarily know that I want to go with a full mirror. although I'm not opposed to it. But because that was how my cookie cutters looked. It was a full polished metal lip and matte centers. I haven't decided on if I want to go with gloss centers. I think that would look really, really tough. Again, I just haven't made that decision yet. I don't think it's going to affect the cost either way to do a matte finish or a gloss. But I think like a medium polish around the lip so that it's reflective, it's bright and reflective, and then a gloss powder coat over that, and then potentially sticking with a matte finish or a satin finish on the caps, on the inner part of the barrel is the way to go. Part of that too is I don't want to replace these hubcaps. Those were a personal gift, so I really don't want to have to pull them off and replace them. So before I go, I just wanted to show you the other rim that I was working on. And you can kind of see this is the sort of state of that. This is the area that I was working on, just again right around that halfway mark of the wheel, and you can kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about, where it's better than it was before, but it's still done, it's still gone. So I have to do suspension anyways. I've been putting it off, so whenever these get sent off, I don't know what the time frame is going to be on that. I still want to do a before video, so I can really highlight the suspension, get a nice polished video out of that. So we'll go do that. I'll schedule that, I'll schedule the car to get powder coated probably around the end of the month. Just with the way that timing is going to work out, I'm going to be at a position where I won't need the car every day, so it'll sort of make sense. The car can be up on jacks for several days, if not a week or two, in the garage. Should go get refurbished wheels. We'll do the powder coating, and while that's off, we'll do more suspension videos. We can do the install, and once everything comes back together, we can take the car out for a shakedown and button everything up. So stay tuned. There's a couple other things totally unrelated to the wheels that I wanted to talk about. I'll do that in a separate video, so don't clog this one up too much. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope some of this, I hope my mistake helps some of you out there in the future. If you're looking at restoring your Fuchs, you can give some of those methods a shot, and hopefully it works out for you guys. So let me know if what you think, and if you have any other methods that you think I should have tried or should try. Like I said, just like 22.5 hours of labor just doing like one chunk. Wet sanding didn't do anything, and polishing didn't do anything, and metal polishing, aluminum polish didn't do anything, the Mag and Mothers didn't do anything, foam pad, microfiber pad, like nothing. I think what happened is it's etched into the anodized layer of the wheel, and it just, so I think with that happening, I don't think it really dug deep enough into the base part of the alloy. So I think if these were media blasted, then they can be saved, like media blasted, polished, and all that kind of stuff. So that's sort of my mentality with the powder coating. Plus, at this point, the powder coating I'm hoping should be the most cost-effective option, because we talked about pricing for some of the other routes to go earlier. So that's kind of where everything's at. And really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.